How to photograph the October 14th annular solar eclipse step by step. Hello, PhotoPiller, Rafael the Bar here. In this video, learn how to photograph the coming annular solar eclipse that occurs on October 14th, 2023, or any other annular eclipse that occurs in the future. So get ready to learn how to photograph all the phases of the eclipse, including the partial phase of the eclipse, and of course the always amazing ring of fire around the moon, the phase of totality. Also get ready to learn how to photograph the annular eclipse along with an interesting subject or landscape. Ready? Because as always, everything begins with a plan. As you know, the annular solar eclipse won't be visible from everywhere. It will be visible only on certain areas and certain locations on the planet. More exactly, within the path of totality, within this band, dark band you see on the PhotoPills map. So knowing where the eclipse occurs is the first step, and thanks to PhotoPills you can plan your shot, as I'm showing you in this video. So go and watch it if you want to plan your shots. From the plan that you see here now on the map, the goal is to photograph only the phase of the eclipse, only the ring of fire, the partial phase, and also the ring of fire from here, from Corpus Christi. And for this specific plan, well, on October 14th, you are at the right position at 11:56. You have the time on the top panel. The annular eclipse will begin the annual phase of the eclipse. And the eclipse will be maximum, which is when the moon covers the maximum area of the sun at 11:58, and the annular eclipse will end at 12 o'clock and 59 seconds. Very cool plan. So now let's see the gear we need to photograph the annular eclipse. Let's go. Whether your goal is to photograph only the phases of the eclipse, only the annular eclipse with no foreground, or to photograph the eclipse aligned with interesting subject, you'll need the same equipment. You'll need your tripod and head, your camera of course, and a telephoto lens. 300, 400, 500, the more the better. And here you have a crop sensor camera. Well, the crop factor will help you get a much longer focal length, which will be on your side, will be on your favor this time. And if you have a teleconverter, it might be a good idea to use it to multiply your focal length too and go longer. And if your goal is to photograph the path of the eclipse along with the landscape, then you'll need a wide-angle lens. At the end of the day, the lens choice, focal length choice, will depend on the idea you have in mind on the photo you want to take of the annular eclipse. Also, if you don't want to risk damaging your camera or your eyes when you look through the viewfinder of your camera, don't use an ND filter. You must use a solar filter. And of course, a pair of solar eclipse glasses too.
Oh my god, this is so beautiful!
By the way, if you're looking for a great solar eclipse filter, well, check Nisi, because Nisi has amazing solar eclipse filters. Check them out. And finally, you also need to use an external shutter release or interpolameter, because the less you touch the camera, the better, because when you press the button to photograph the eclipse, you might introduce vibrations into the system, and you know that vibrations produce blurry images. Use an external interpolameter or an external shutter release. Okay, on the eclipse date, this is October 14th, arrive at the location 1 hour or so before the eclipse begins, or even more in advance if you can. For example, for the total solar eclipse in 2017, we arrived the day before at the shooting spot. So once there, set everything at the planned shooting spot. This is the red pin position for PhotoPills. And make sure that everything is stable. You can always use the AR augmented reality in the PhotoPills planner to make sure that you are at the right shooting spot to visualize the position of the sun in the sky, of the eclipse in the sky. Now set the focal length you wish to use to capture the photo you want to capture, for example 500 millimeters, and attach the solar filter on the lens. And this is important, you must keep the solar filter in front of the lens during the whole eclipse. This is not a total solar eclipse where you must remove the solar filter when the totality begins. With an annular eclipse, you must keep the solar filter in front of the lens at all times. Because remember that the moon will never cover completely the sun's disk. If you're shooting with a telephoto lens, meet the light on the surface of the sun before the eclipse begins. Now set the aperture, for example, to f8 to get a nice deep depth of field. Set the nominal IS of your camera, for example 100 or 200, and set the shutter speed that gives you the right exposure on the sun. Usually a shutter speed between 1/500 seconds and 1/1000 will work. And bracket your exposure to make sure that you get at least one photo correctly exposed. A one-stop bracketing of 3 photos will do the work. Now may focus on the edge of the sun. And if you're photographing the eclipse aligned with an interesting subject, then make focus on your subject. Then take a test shot and check that the sun, or both the sun and your subject, are acceptably sharp in the photo, are in focus. By the way, Josh Clips in this shot used the 10 stops and the filter to get the shot. That's the reason you see a bit of color and detail in the sky. But yeah, if you decide to use an filter, you should know that you're not protecting your camera. That's it. And by the way, there is an easy way to make sure that when you're focusing on your subject, you also get the clips acceptably sharp. For that, you need to make sure that you're using the right camera settings, and you can learn how to do it very fast by watching this video. Watch it. Last but not least, check that the exposure is right. Check that you're capturing detail on the sun. And if something looks wrong on the focusing or the exposure, make the necessary adjustments. And yeah, you're ready for the eclipse.
No, stop. Those. Show me the eclipse, Tony. Show me the photo.
Start the eclipse. Oh my god! Wow, start.
Yes.
Come on.
Now, if you wish to learn more on how to photograph the annular eclipse, I invite you to download our super detailed guide on how to photograph the upcoming annular eclipse on October 14th, 2023. I'm going to leave a link in the description of this video and in the first comment below. Download it. And as always, if you like this video, give me a like, subscribe, and I'll see you next Wednesday in another video. And remember that you have the power to imagine, plan, and shoot legendary photos. Bye.